No, we had slush
Our
all,
plows were out, they might have already hit.
might have hit yours or that one area. Yeah, I don't know what it's supposed to do. I had someone tell me yesterday that they're predicting 10 inches of snow. Was that right, or was he wrong?
All the rain we had last night, we had a hell of a lot of snow.
If it would've been cold enough, correct.
In closed session? Is that all right with you guys? We're gonna record the no decision was made.
Yep.
And then we're gonna go back to, can I go see Nick?
Yeah, see if he has a sheet.
Yep.
I'm gonna refill my water.
Okay. When did your county email go off?
I suppose as soon as we walk out of there, 10 minutes, less than done. Plus, we won't have anything to get it on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll work, or else you guys can forward it to him.
Trying to think what the hell the cell phone email is. 'Cause I don't know if that's working anymore. Our cell phones are Gmail. Dixie at gmail.com. Your cell phone's so magic. You can go like that. I said, I didn't do it. Right. Oh, I think Jenna should do it.
All right. Well, gentlemen.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks, Todd.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a pleasure. Oh, yeah.
We'll see you guys again.
Maybe
All
I'll be
right,
here.
I'll shake you guys' hand too, so. But we'll see another 2 and 4, so.
You don't have to sign it yet, but you take a look at the numbers because it's not in the computer. Just next. Before you will pay us, be best.
Yep, there it is.
Yep. Bye. Hey, how's it going?
Cash on hand. I look at it, kind of hard to approve it if you can't see it.
Yeah, I was just gonna write it down, but that is fine.
Yeah, exactly.
The only one you have to different would be Nick's.
Yeah, everything else was in the folder, right?
Yep.
I move that we approve the cash in hand for December 31st, 2022.
Do I have a second to that motion?
Yes, second.
By Casey. Any discussion on, cash on hand? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I'll pass you two at a time.
I'll be too, we just get to later. Did you send your name on mine too, Paul? Whatever, I'll be dying. You're still cut out.
Thanks.
Oops.
Yeah, and before we close out the business, I want to say Donnie and Gail, it's been a pleasure sitting beside you and working with you for the last 4 years.
Same as you boys, you tell us a lot. Thank you for all the help over the years.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you. Especially that scruffy old beard.
Yep. Don't worry, some Tuesday I'll be ice fishing, I'll send you a picture of Jack.
You already sent me one,
Yes, I
but it wasn't fishing.
Did you like that one? It was tasty.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Are they biting?
I heard Clear Lake, 2 foot of water on the shore. Nice big crappie at first.
The crawfish are perfect. Anything else? To conclude the business for 2022.
And that we, include the 2022 business.
Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Second by Lots. Do a roll call vote, please.
Stecker,
Yes.
Casey,
Yep.
Fox,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Jerks.
Yes.
Oh,
You want it?
yeah, thank you. Yeah, no.
Good luck.
My pleasure. Yeah, really, you bet. Yeah, good pleasure. Good luck. Yeah, you too.
Donnie?
Yeah, good luck. Yeah. Donnie, good luck. You too, Galen. No problem.
Mr. Galen.
How we doing, man?
I'm
Great, we'll keep in touch.
Yep. Should we take a break before we start this? You want to? Let's take a break before we start. Yeah.
Is it?
Can we take my name, please, or you gonna keep it?
No, you can take it.
Keep it until next time you're running.
Ain't happening. Headache's over.
Yeah. We got cookies in case you want to eat.
Okay.
You want to eat a cookie?
Sure.
I'll wait you in a minute.
Okay.
So how's that? Carter, can you talk? Let's test her out here.
I don't have much of a voice, but can you hear me?
Yep, that was plenty loud. Try, say something now.
Okay, can you hear me now?
That's about perfect.
Okay. We'll see if my voice lasts the morning.
You can, yeah, hopefully it won't be too bad here.
Push number once for yes, 2 for no.
Josh can hear you crystal clear in the back of the room, I think, so. You won't have to talk very loud, the owl projects quite a bit, so.
Okay.
Do you want video allowed? If I do that, it would only show on my computer and I usually have it minimized, so I wouldn't probably see anyway.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's not up on the screen.
No, and this will be put on, online later on and stuff too, so I guess it's up to you, but otherwise I think your initials is good enough.
Okay.
But it's up to you, I mean, if you're all dressed up sitting at home, then by all means.
Yeah, I wore a nice shirt in the office
Oh,
here.
well, let me see if I can adjust the settings again then.
It's getting worse, isn't it?
A little bit.
This Windows is nice.
Sorry, I couldn't be there today.
How's that now?
It looks like the sidewalks are just wet, but if you look at the brick, you can see ice building up on the brick, which is a little weird. How's the ice down there?
No. Did you turn your camera on?
Yep,
Do you see yourself on your side?
I do. Yep.
I just see your initials here. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I might have to ask Derek.
Ended.
I just
Oh,
turned it off and on again.
now you're visible there.
Okay.
Hello.
How's the ice down there?
Josh.
I think it's mostly just water right now. But Kaylee went to work, of course, she only just goes across town, but
Well, when I drove in, there's some pretty good slush. I was,
that's what it looks like.
well, it was slick underneath it too. I was, sliding and fishtailing a little bit even with my truck, and I put a pallet of salt back too, so. I was, tried to be prepared, but it was not real pretty roads.
Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Carter.
Here, Tammy, I'll
Good
let you.
morning. Hi,
Good
Carter.
morning.
How are you feeling?
Sorry. Oh, feeling alright. My voice is a little rough, but
It sounds okay.
sorry I couldn't be there today.
Yeah, I know how you feel, when
You
right
missed
before
your,
election, or right before the election, my in-laws got COVID and ended up in the hospital. My
I
father-in-law
remember that.
passed away, but I couldn't have a party or anything because we were in quarantine, so we missed all that. And then my very first election, the Thursday before, I got COVID.
Mhm.
So I didn't have, it was horrible. So I understand how you're feeling.
Yeah, hopefully by the end of the week here, I can at least get in on one of the budget meetings, but
Well, and we can always have you
Yeah.
on the phone too. I don't know if you need to be video, it's kind of up to you, but
Yeah.
we can always have you on the phone too if you want, if you're not able to tomorrow.
I didn't have his video on until now. He said he was all dressed up, so he wanted to represent.
Do you wanna put it up on the screen or no?
We probably could, I don't know. I think that's HDMI. I'd have to talk to Derek on that. We could potentially figure that out here, maybe after we get started on
Other
that.
people will be able to see them too.
So,
yeah, I
You'd
mean-
be able to-
Am I right here?
I think for right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
kind
I
of
just
put
don't
it
wanna
in
sit
place.
behind the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're fine, we can move them too.
I'll check
that's
with
fine.
Derek about that, and then we can maybe put you up on the screen too.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll have to get everything all tied
What's
together
gonna
though.
happen once they elect chair and vice chair, so I kind of just put you where your spot was.
you don't take my chair, Josh.
Doors locked. We have
I'm
an
out there to
HDMI
fight for it.
cable
Right.
to get from there to the board table.
From where?
From there to the projector, to the board table, so we can have Carter, he's all dressed
Well,
up
we've
at
got-
home, so,
We've got HDMI from this laptop over there already,
okay.
but she's recording the video from this machine, so
Well, is that the same, HDMI for the other owls?
there's not a HDMI to the,
Yeah, that's USB, isn't it?
yes,
Okay,
and that's already hooked up to this for recording,
but there's an HDMI from here to the projector,
yes.
okay.
What are you trying to accomplish?
Carter is all dressed up at
Okay.
home, and we were trying to accomplish putting him on the screen, so everyone could
Okay, so
visually see.
you could run an HDMI cable from your laptop over to the projector.
That's what I was asking about, cause I have the adapter to go from USB-C.
We don't have to if it's,
I think
we it's
we
not a
have,
big deal.
we just gotta see if we got the cable for it. Morning?
Good morning.
And if not, I could just.
Yeah, they're jogging on these.
If not, I could have people come up, just. And like, Bill and Chris, I don't know if they're coming in for stuff, but. We can figure stuff out that way. Do you wanna use that or not?
That's what we got it for. Fifteen might be too short, right?
To go down and back up, it would probably be too short.
Yeah, so this is,
Josh, you wanna help here? That's-
25 footer.
Easy. Yeah. What's that?
25.
Okay. in case someone, I'll tell you later. You wanna help?
At least 1:30.
If you want to, it should plug in out there.
Yeah, she doesn't get off lunch till, she has lunch from 12:30 to 1:30.
Alright, you got it?
Which board does it need?
I just walked in the door.
Only the one that's.
Is there only one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
there's something plugged into it right now. but-
Yeah, so the way this works, Kyle, is that when you need a laptop here, just plug into that one. This one goes over to Tammy's, so you just flip that up to there.
Okay. So that's the one that's hardwired through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta go back on tomorrow.
That makes sense. Well, we can, this will work for now. Carter, we'll have you up in a second.
That's why, yeah. They'll go back tomorrow.
Or actually, I'll let you take most of this over the edge.
Man,
I know I had the adapter in my binder.
we'll get there.
I don't know, it's fucking wet.
We can just take a couple chairs and just. Just stick the chairs over here so no one tries to walk. Safety first.
Good plan.
We did. We went to the Sarasota grade
And you
today.
don't have anybody that needs to get on the screen in
Don't
a presentation.
Here's a house.
Actually, that will,
6 bedrooms,
If you do,
5
you're
bathrooms.
gonna have to unplug in.
It's like 16 people.
so that would show my screen. I wouldn't be able to fold my packet that way.
Unless you instead, here.
Can you put that onto the projector and not show my screen?
Is it?
So Carter's to your right.
Okay,
So
that's
now
fine.
you can
So,
Right there, yep.
There you go, see?
Perfect. What a deal having two tech people in the same room. Oh, only one or 1.5 or? Carter, we got you on the projector.
Cool. I'm big time now.
Yeah, you're bigger than all of us.
Just make sure
Yeah.
you sneeze.
what?
Chair picture?
A little bit.
Jack, we got Carter on the screen now. He's all dressed up, so we wanted to say hi.
Is he dressed up? Let's see.
Carter, you're falling off the screen. Oh, there you are.
Why?
Morning, Jack.
You don't have a suit on, I don't call you dressed up.
Well, it's just a collar shirt.
You might be sitting there in shorts, for all we know, 'cause you're.
My pajama pants.
Or your pajama bottoms, yeah. How you feeling this morning?
Oh, a lot better than yesterday. I came down with fever about 102 yesterday, and then, it was gone this morning now, so. But, back to normal temperature now, but, so I'm feeling a lot better, but lost a lot of my voice,
Yeah.
so. At least it was only a 1-day deal.
Yeah. Eat it one step.
Start taking the-
Are you ready? We will call, back into session for 2023 new business. First thing on the agenda, nomination for chairman.
I would nominate Rogers as chairman and Jack Platt as vice chairman.
Do I have a second to that motion? I'll second it. Any discussion?
I guess I've said it the last 2-3 years, I think there should be changes. Instead of having the same people as chair and vice chair, we've had the same 2 individuals for the last 4 years. I think there should be changes.
Last 2 years.
No, the last 4 years, we've had the same 2 individuals.
Well, yeah, they flipped.
No.
The last 3 years,
2 years. I've only been chairman 2 years. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Do a roll call vote, please.
Stecker,
no?
Nath,
Oh,
We didn't
is he
hear you.
muted? Carter, can you hear us?
Carly?
No, don't hear you.
Carter, you're muted on there.
No, we lost you.
He can be back down.
There, can you hear, did you hear what was said?
I'm sorry, you guys got out there for a minute.
okay.
What's that?
We're just taking a roll call vote.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Did you hear the motion?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
Then I cut out.
okay.
Okay.
So I'm just asking for your vote.
Okay. Did we already do discussion?
I said a little bit, did you hear that at all?
Well, I was saying, could we,
Do you want,
what I wanted to bring up was,
well,
I would agree with, if we wanna look into the future of, rotating who is chair, and through the years, and changing that up year to year, I mean, I guess I have a counter proposal, but I don't know if that's how that works.
If this vote fails, then another nomination would need to be
Right.
entertained.
right now, we have a motion and a second on the floor and we're voting.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed some of that, so let's, yeah,
So you would vote yes or no?
no.
Wactor,
No.
Plath,
Yes?
Jerks,
Yes. Motion failed. I would call for a new nomination for chairman and vice chairman. The floor is open for nomination.
I would nominate, go ahead.
Go ahead, Carter.
I would nominate Jack Plath as chairman of the board and Kyle Stecker as vice chairman of the board.
I would second that nomination.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion? Hearing none. Do a roll call vote, please.
Stecker,
Yes.
Nath,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Plath,
No?
Jerks,
No. Motion carried, 3-2. Should we switch to ours?
I'm going to, I am going to make a statement though, I'm going to not accept it, because I'm not gonna have enough, I won't be, I've got some trips planned, and I don't feel like
Sure.
I would do it justice this year, so I am gonna respectfully decline, being chairman for this year.
Okay. Do we need to redo the nomination then?
Yes, we'll have
Yeah,
to start
go
all
ahead.
over. I would take nominations for chairman.
I would like to nominate Jack Platt as, or not Jack, sorry, Roger as chairman and Kyle Stecker as vice chair.
I'll second that motion.
We'll have some discussion. Mr. Stecker, discussion.
I think there should be. I think there should be more changes than that. Is there any other discussion?
I would like to see Roger and myself stay in leadership roles. We have seniority and know the ins and outs of the office and what goes on. And we do the best job for the time we have left as board members.
Well, that was my feeling, that at least one of you should remain in those positions.
It'd be, in my opinion, it'd be nice if, for you two new ones, you would have 1 year and then have you guys step up to take roles as chairman and vice chairman.
So why didn't we do that the last 4 years? Donnie was the vice chair the first year and then no one after that.
Well, I think we two have been kind of rotating in and out, so, I do agree that we do need someone that has experience as the chair to kind of stay that for, at least the first year. But we do need a new rotation to vice chair, and that is why I nominated Kyle to vice chair. For the instance of being able to rotate out in the following years, to potentially have Kyle as chair and one of us, newer guys as vice chair at that point. But to get the year started, I think we need someone that does have experience in the role, and then, we can get Kyle up to speed as vice chair. And then move forward from there.
You vote, do a roll call vote?
Stecker,
Can you repeat the motion on the floor?
Wactor made the motion to nominate Roger Jerks as chairman and Kyle Stecker as vice chairman. Seconded by Carter.
I would say yes.
Nat,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Black,
No,
Jerks,
No. It passes. Think a long time. Huh. I will say that, roll call vote is 3-2, and that the motion passes. I accept it for a year. Okay. No, just saw her come out.
Underneath the
You wanna do that now or?
So right on the front,
yeah, right on the front.
there's latches that can hold. And that'll set
Pull
this.
them towards you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, pull them towards you. Reach in the front, yeah.
Here,
Pull them
you want-
towards you.
You want to jump in there?
Is there latches here? Is that
Right in the
Yep,
front.
right on the
pull
front.
them towards you.
So you gotta-
Down to the end.
It's inside there.
So once you release it, yeah, there you go.
After you go to the end.
You want to land here?
Might have to, hang on a second, Carter, we'll have to rearrange cords here.
You got Carter on yet?
Yeah, you should still be there. No.
Audio's not there?
We need to switch it back over.
We'll unplug it and replug it back to doing.
This is a wonderful time of year.
Carter can't hear?
Oh, it's on the computer here?
He can hear, but he can't talk.
No,
Well, he's talking and the audio's just coming through here, so we just gotta change the.
here,
Here.
it's coming out of my computer instead of out of the owl, that's the difference.
Try it again.
Can you talk, Carter?
It's still on the
Yep, yep. Alright, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
What's that commercial on TV? Can you hear me now?
Isn't that Sprint?
Isn't that Sprint? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. First thing on our agenda is the holiday schedule. Oh, yeah, we do. We will call the meeting to order for the new year, and it is 9:10. All members are present, 4 in person and 1 online.
Jack, is this your copy?
Yes, it is. First thing on the agenda is the holiday schedule.
You bet.
You guys got your computers?
We don't have,
Derek, I think,
Just Derek have them?
The new one was,
Yeah.
the new one, you said that you set up.
we're just starting the new year. Yeah, if we can bring it in here or whatever.
No,
No, that's all right. Carter, you haven't had a chance to look at the holiday schedule? You ready?
I have, yep, I've seen the packet.
yeah, you should, I emailed them the packets.
Good.
I've got it right here.
Perfect. Josh, have you seen the schedule?
yes, I have.
Do you have any questions on it?
I do not.
Do I have a motion to approve the holiday schedule?
I would make that motion.
Do I have a second? Carter, would you like to second that?
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Next is to, motion carried unanimous. Approve official newspapers? Yep.
And Carter, when you're feeling better, if you're here tomorrow or Thursday, I'll have you sign these documents.
Okay.
Yeah. We have the Kossuth County Advance, Bancroft Register, and Sway City Herald Press to be approved as official newspapers.
I'll make the motion to approve them.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor for the official newspapers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Wait,
Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. Ready for
I am.
construction evaluation resolution matrix, resolution number 1/3/2301.
And just for the new members, an explanation of this is put in place back when, all the hog buildings were being built. And if you wanted to ever question a hog site, if you weren't part of the, matrix, then you wouldn't be allowed to take anything down to the EPC. So by having this matrix and having our sanitarian go out and review the sites and do an evaluation, that allows us to take a unit to the EPC we felt there was a need to, and we've actually done it once or twice since I've been on the board, so. But without the value, without the matrix, then you don't, then it's just, we're not, we don't have anything to do with it, so.
So is this something new or is this?
No,
something
this has been
updated?
going
It's,
on.
it's standard, but yeah, you have to reaffirm that decision every year.
Every year, okay.
And that way, and we do it because what it does is it gives the citizens a chance to come in here and voice their opinions either for or against, and usually it's against, hog setup. It kind of opens up, the door for them to speak their mind, and that's actually changed the mind of some buildings, or some producers that are putting up the building. There's been a couple of occasions where they actually either moved the building or didn't put it up, so it does work occasionally.
It helps with a uniform set of rules across the state.
Yep.
Well, and it also helps that they approach their neighbors more readily than it just to be an audit approves it.
Right.
So I would approve resolution 13-2301. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Platt. Any discussion? Hearing none, do a roll call vote, please.
Plath,
Yes.
Nath,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Jerks.
Yes. Motion carried unanimous. Next on the agenda, we have another resolution. Approved depositories for our treasurer. And the resolution number is 13-2302. There we go. Do I have any questions? If not, I need a motion to approve the depositories.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Wagner. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Stecker. Any discussion? Hearing none, do a roll call vote, please.
Plath,
Yes.
Nath,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Jerks.
Yes. Just one?
Just one.
Next, we have another resolution, number 13-2303. Approved depositories by resolution for the sheriff. Do I have a motion to approve? Oh, and the recorder, I'm sorry. I'll move to approve resolution 123-2303. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Stecker. Any discussion? Hearing none, do a roll call vote, please.
Plath,
Yes.
Nath,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Jerks.
Yes. Next, we have resolution 13-2304, resolution authorizing auditor to issue checks for payment. Do I have that motion for resolution 103-2304?
So moved.
Motion by Stecker, second by
I'll second.
Wagner. Any discussion? Hearing none, do a roll call vote, please.
Plath,
Yes.
Nath,
Yes,
Wactor,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Jerks.
Yes. Next on the agenda, we have the eminent domain commission. Do I have a motion to approve the eminent domain commission? So moved. Motion by Platt. Second by
I'll second.
Wagner.
I'm sorry, you got it cut out there a little bit again, what was that?
The eminent domain commission.
Oh, okay.
We have a motion and a second. Motion by Platt, second by Wagner.
Do we know if all these names are, good, like there's no one that has to come off or?
We looked at it when you were on vacation.
Okay, I knew we had gone over it a lot, I don't know if it was last year or year and a half, whatever it's been,
We
and
passed
outdated
it,
several, so,
we passed it down.
okay. Sounds good.
All those in favor of the eminent domain commission, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. Next, we have approved the mileage rate for county business. It's at 58.5. Do I have a motion to approve the mileage rate?
That's what it is that currently.
Yeah, the
The
new rate.
new
The
is
new rate is
65.5.
60, yeah.
Thought maybe you wanted this rate. So which rate do you want?
Usually we approve it at the IRS rate, but you can do whatever you want with the IRS rate raised theirs to,
Yeah, no, they did 65 point, yeah,
That's a big jump.
yeah,
well,
There was a mid-year jump,
yeah,
right, we didn't approve it though.
yeah.
Do I have a motion one way or another?
What's the current rate, again, 58?
58.5 is current,
And what's the new one?
65.5.
I'd move that we leave it at 58.
58.5? I have a motion by Platt to leave it at 58.5. Do I have a second? I'll second his motion. Discussion.
Yeah, I tried to see if there was a way we could get it changed to not allow for supervisors to get paid to drive to work, to go to meetings and stuff, but, found out that, you know, it's, they supervise, because the reason I did it was because no other elected official gets paid to drive to work. And I didn't think it was right that supervisors got paid to drive into the courthouse, but, Tammy looked into it and said that, if a supervisor, we could do it, but if a supervisor made the claim for driving to work, that we'd have to pay it. But I just wanted to be knowing that I did, you know, try to get it changed for supervisors, because no other elected officials get paid, get that benefit, to get paid to drive into the courthouse on Tuesdays, so.
But, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this get paid also to attend meetings, you know, committee meetings and such?
Right, that, I had no problem,
Okay.
I didn't have any problem with that, I just didn't think it was right that only elected officials that got paid to drive into the courthouse, were supervisors. None of the other elected officials get paid mileage to drive here 5 days a week, and, so.
Sure.
And I think the discussion was, on that was because, you know, back in the day, it was the supervisor's duty to kind of check things out on their way in, you know, going over different roads, taking different paths and stuff like that. So you may have, you know, gone further out, more mileage than what you'd normally put on a regular basis coming in. And I think that's what it was for, was to be able to do that if you decide to take, you know, an hour-long cruise around your district and the county prior to coming into the meeting.
And I said, I don't know how much you're gonna do at 7 o'clock in the morning, right? But
Right.
But anyways, I just wanted to know that I did look into it.
Well, I would say that's been the same way for, I don't know when that was
Code.
put into place, but it's been in the code for a long time. It's standard that way. And I think we should follow IRS mileage rate. It doesn't just affect supervisors, as was previously mentioned in a different meeting, but it affects every other department head and every other employee of the county as well. And with the increased costs associated with travel, with fuel, parts, vehicle costs in general, I think we should follow the IRS current rates, which would be 65.5.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. Any more discussion?
Roll call, please.
Do a roll call vote.
Plath,
Yes.
Nath,
No,
Wactor,
No.
Stecker,
No,
Jerks,
Yes. Motion failed. 3-2. So I'll call for a new motion.
I would make a motion to accept the current IRS mileage rate
That would be
for
0.65.
2023, which would be 65.5 cents, correct?
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Wagner seconds it. Any more discussion?
I don't have a problem with either of the numbers. I think it's just a good idea I think we should stick to the IRS rate year to year. It changes every year, and that way we're not constantly trying to just pull a number out of the hat that sounds good, and just stick to what every other business abides by. So that would be my opinion.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, do a roll call vote.
Plath,
No.
Nath,
Yes?
Wactor,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes,
Jerks,
No. Next thing on the agenda is approval of food and lodging direct bill for Kossuth County employees. Does everybody understand the motion?
for the two new ones, this allows, well, it's listed in the packet, of course, but it allows employees to charge motel and food bill directly. Some instances this is used, but a lot of times it's paid on reimbursement basis, so kinda depends on how you go through the process, but it's just prior approval for business travel.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I would make that motion to approve.
Motion by Stecker, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Wagner, any more discussion?
We still have that limit in place for food, is that right?
Yep,
$20.
yep.
Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next, we have lodging for out-of-county inmates. And the limit is $50, or the rate is $50 per day. Do I have a motion to approve the rate for lodging out-of-county inmates?
Is that what Roger Fisher recommended again, I assume? Okay.
So moved.
Motion by Plath, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Wagner. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion carried unanimous. Next, we have decision discussion trial authorization claim spending limit. It's $5,000 for elected official and department heads. There's always been some discussion on county engineer, would you like anything in this perspective?
I'm okay with it the way it is.
Do I have a motion to approve the spending limit?
I would make that motion.
Mr. Stecker makes a motion, who would second it?
I'll second.
Wagner seconds it, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. Next thing on the agenda. Job description of the Kossuth County Medical Examiner Investigators.
Morning. So the first thing I have is the job description for the ME department. There was a couple changes made in the state handbook, so I just updated the county handbook to match that. If you look at the handout I gave you on page 1, the first thing I changed, mainly just because we were doing an update on the job description, was the salary range. The old one, we had the actual dollar amount listed. I just thought for ease of not updating this anytime there's a change in the future, just to simply have it state as set by the Kossuth County Board of Supervisors, which will be done during our budgeting process. We'll look at just like we do any other department, look at the pay rate and determine if that needs to be changed. So, but I was just changed on the first page, so just change it to as set by the county supervisors versus having the actual pay rate on job description. On page 2, the minimum qualification requirements. The old description stated that it had to be attend the St. Louis University School of Medicine basic death investigation course. That now states within the Iowa code that it can be the St. Louis class or the state approved equivalent. So the state of Iowa is working on a new equivalent course to match up with the St. Louis course. So if that gets put in place, we could possibly use the Iowa course versus having to go to St. Louis to get the training. Then on page 3, the appointments for the medical examiners, in the state code, it states that it has to be appointed for a 2-year period. And that has to be appointed to commence on January 1st, unless the 1st is a Sunday, then it commences on January the 2nd. Prior to this, we've been doing it basically on fiscal year. According to the state code, it's calendar year. So this is just a change. The next item on the agenda will reappoint, just to get us on track with having the correct dates versus the fiscal year. So that's the only 3 changes on the actual job description that we had. Any questions on those 3 items?
You know, no changes on staff.
That's on the next motion.
Yeah, it looks like there's less now than there was before, if I remember correctly.
So we'll have a motion to approve the job description of the medical examiner investigators as changed. I'll make the motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Stecker. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. Next, we have appointment of Kossuth County medical examinators and deputy county medical examiners and medical investigators.
So the current medical examiner for Kossuth County is Dr. Yelly. So that is going to stay the same, so we just need to reappoint Dr. Yelly as the Kossuth County medical examiner. Once Dr. Yelly is the medical examiner, then he appoints the other providers, the other partners at the hospital as deputies. There'll be deputy medical examiners under Dr. Yelly, and then the bottom one is the medical examiner investigators. And I did include a copy of this in your packet.
Yep.
There wasn't signed when I put that in your packet, because I was gone for a few days, so I wanted to get it in your packet before I left. But we do have the signed one from Dr. Yelly. It's dated, December 21st.
Do I have a motion to approve Dr. Yellow's medical examiner for the county? So, and the
Yeah, it's
deputies.
all together.
Is there any questions on that? I know Kyle, you mentioned there's less.
Do we have enough? Are we needing more? I mean, I see there's only.
So when we started a year and a half ago or whenever it was, we had 4 death investigators. One's been a medical leave.
Okay.
So currently, we have been running with 3 since July.
Okay.
3 gets at times to be a little hectic when you run a couple weeks in a row. Depends on the call volume, of course, and our call volume's been up. But for right now, I'd like to stay with the 3 and then decide how we'll proceed from there. If we make a change or we get people back.
Okay. Thanks for the update that way.
Do I have a-
I said.
You made the motion and Wagner second? Yep, Plath and Wagner. Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next, we're up to appoint drainage attorney. And we have Jim Hudson down.
And Jim Hudson is the attorney that wrote, or compiled the chapter 468 of the code, didn't he? Or was that?
His
His
dad.
father.
His dad.
What's that?
His dad did.
His dad, oh, okay.
So he knows it very well.
I thought the name sounded familiar, okay, yep.
I would make a motion to appoint him again for the 2023 year.
I'll second. Second by Wagner. Any more discussion? Carter, you're fine? You had?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Alright,
Opposed?
Renee's not gonna be available till after 10:30, so we can skip him after.
Skip. Discussion decision, emergency response, training complex building parking lot, corner UBC building.
What about the one before that?
She's not gonna be available till after 10:30, so if we can come back to that.
We'll come back to that. Carissa?
Yep, good morning. Thanks for having me on the agenda. So when we got the building a year ago, we had some issues with the parking with the facility to the north. A lot of their employees and business people were coming in and parking there. And so we thought we'd give it a try, and once we get moved in. The problem being is now they are parking there, they park at the very end. It is very hard to get trailers in and out. We've had to move trailers around, and it's very difficult. They park at the end, we're supposed to identify some parking spots. It just isn't working because when we have to go and put a trailer on the east side, the garage door, we have to go all the way to almost to that building to the north of us in order to get in. Well, we have people that park there, so we have to kind of scoot to the side, which makes it very difficult. And then you have like probably 6 or 7 cars sometimes that are parked on the west side of that parking lot towards Highway 169, which makes it hard to get trailers coming in and off of the road, doesn't matter which direction you're coming from, if you're coming from the south or the north. So as other emergency buildings such as EMS, such as fire, no one's allowed to park in their parking spots or park in there. Yes, I don't know when there's an emergency, either does the fire department. I really would like to have the board consider not allowing the business people to use that parking for their purposes. And not only that, safety wise, I don't know when the county gets there to scoop it, so, I don't want anybody falling, that could come back on us. There's ways that they can manage their parking. I know that was brought up at our last very initial meeting, that, try to do a one-way in, and that hasn't happened. There's continuing. When we have meetings, I have to make sure I go to each business in that complex and tell them that we have trainings and meetings there. Please do not park there. Well, sometimes we do have some trainings that come up that I don't get there. I don't have anybody respond back to me saying, yep, we won't park there. So I feel like, on my point, we really need to look at not allowing people to park in there. Phil talked to insurance regarding that, and there were some issues having people park in our parking lot, with the insurance. You wanna bring that up?
Yeah, so the email we had from the insurance company was February 16th of 2022, so almost a year ago. I didn't realize it'd been that long. But the insurance company concern was the liability. The liability automatically goes to that property for the county, but they recommended that we had some kind of a contract or some kind of a, not an easement, but a contract in place with those that can be reviewed, adjusted, renewed, or terminated at any time, if we were gonna continue to allow them. Now, we never really got into the discussion as far as the drive-through liquor store part. This was just the parking lot itself, so if we're gonna continue, we'll have to also address the drive-through as well.
The parking lot does go up to the the south side of that building.
I don't know if you guys remember last year, Todd was here, and we talked about the difference between an easement and an actual contract on that property.
Right.
Where an easement is forever and a contract can be changed or terminated. And it kind of stopped there. We decided to wait until after the building was completed and moved in. So nothing's really happened since last February as far as the parking lot.
How much of that parking lot is owned by county?
All of
All
it.
of it,
All of it, basically, so.
all the way up to the
that
south end.
drive-
Yep, that
drive-through.
drive-through is actually on county property. Yeah.
So what are you suggesting, that we block it off and only allow for the emergency management?
Yeah.
Is that gonna affect their drive-through?
Probably.
Have you had any, discussions with them prior to this coming on the agenda here? 'Cause
Prior to this, I stopped a couple times at TAFE's and left my card, and has never returned my call. They showed up the last time and we agreed that we would just try it. And then maybe identify some parking spots, but there's really not a good place to identify a certain number of spots for them to park at, because if it's too close to their building, then I can't get the trailer in this way. And then they have semis that come in, and then they park clear up by the building, and sometimes they have blocked off for me to get into the garage part if I had to get something out. I'm not taking the time to run to each facility and say, hey, whose vehicle is that, or whose, especially if I have to get a piece of the equipment out. Again, I'm just going back to, it's no different than fire, it's no different than EMS. When there's an emergency, they don't take time to, hey, you gotta move your vehicle. They don't know when those things are gonna happen. This is the same thing.
So the problem I kinda have with that is, you'd have to block, pretty much block it off and only allow for, county employees to be able to park there. Problem with that is if you put, blockades up, or, those bumpers or whatever you put in place there, you may still have issues with the trucks, getting the training vehicles in there. Not to mention that we may end up having the businesses there coming and basically complaining that they are losing business because they have no parking available, that people drive past because they can't get through there. We'll have that complaint coming in too, if we decide to block that off. If we don't block it off and just put up signs, people will still end up parking there. So, and you can't exactly just banish a vehicle from that parking lot. So I just kind of have a difficulty with how we would handle that, and keep from those businesses coming back to us and complaining that we're affecting their revenue. So my thought is, if, we had chance to meet with them, kind of make agreements on how we can handle it and move forward. If we could get a diagram of the parking lot to figure out how much of the property is ours versus theirs. And if there's anything that we could do to work it out with them, I think that would be important because, you know, we don't wanna affect their revenue too.
That property was for sale for
For years.
over a year.
And they had
The
that.
businesses had the opportunity to approach the previous owners or us and say, can we buy off a portion of that property before it was sold or before everything was finalized?
And in their defense, they didn't plan on having county come in and buy that property and then blocking out that parking lot. They're, you know, they could have been looking at it as that's another business going in there and they would be open to leaving that open for public parking.
And I'm hearing what you're saying. The other part is too, when we initially talked about it, and I do believe, I think it was you, Jack, and you can make sure I'm right on that, but he did bring up the fact that, you know, look at your parking situation too. You know, how can you increase your parking in your area that you have? At that time, they didn't wanna do that. They didn't want to make and look at their parking situation to increase the flow. Plus, there's public parking across the street. I get that. But the business people, owners can park across the street, and their customers should park there. Again, there's a way in on the north side to their complex, and there's a road, there's an entrance right at the south end of that complex. So they can get in and out of there, it's just not parking up in the area that we need to be able to move.
Right.
So that's my concern, they're parking up into the parking stalls in the parking lot. I'm not saying block so they can't get into their facilities, I'm just saying blocking, allowing them to park in parking spots in the property.
Would we ever be open to allowing them to keep using the drive-through, but don't allow them parking in the parking lot?
That's totally up to you guys. I mean, I just,
No, I'm asking you, I mean, how much of a hindrance would that be if we left the drive-through, allow them to use the drive-through, but blocked all parking, public parking?
The problem with that though is you still have the issue of insurance because if they're driving through the parking lot, if there's an accident, if they hit one of the county vehicles or something while they're going through that drive-through, then it becomes a liability for the county.
I don't know if I completely agree with that. If you have a vehicle-to-vehicle accident, your normal insurance should handle that, especially if they're at fault. I would not be concerned, I guess I would refer to our insurance agents, but I would not be concerned about that. I think it's important to remember to not have, government as ourselves being a hindrance to public, or private businesses and all that. So I think we need to be a team player here and good neighbor in that regard. And I don't see how just making some decision in the boardroom without having a solid conversation with them would fulfill that.
I also wanted, you did say something about having the employees park, you know, across the street in the, you know, public parking. Only problem I have with that is you have to make reasonable accommodations. Businesses have to make reasonable accommodation. If they hire someone that is handicapped and can't handle that walk across the street, then they have to allow them to park in the customer parking lot, thus making parking less and causing them to potentially.
That's right, you have to have handicap parking spot in front of your business. You can't-
Right, and
That's the accommodation they have to make, and then they have to make sure that they have, a place for the wheelchair to get, to go up on.
And that's, you know, for their customers to use now. If they've got an employee that's using that handicap parking spot because they are handicapped and they, you know, can't walk across the street, that's taking up their handicap parking, so they can't have a customer that comes in that is handicapped and use that spot. Do you see what I mean? It's.
Well, if that's the case, they'd have to have another handicap parking spot there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's up to the business, you know, that's not our
Right, and that,
call whether they.
It
The
is in a
parking lot
sense.
makes no difference on the handicap accessible to their businesses, because it's not accessible handicap because they got a bumper there. So that's not gonna make any difference. My problem is that this is an emergency building. And we bought it to use for emergency building, and I don't think they let anybody park in front of the fire station. I don't think they let anybody park in front of the doors to the police department. If they're gonna drive through the drive-through, I just say, okay, drive through the drive-through.
I don't, I mean, I would be willing to say, let the drive up stay, but just, shut off the parking. Cause I can see, it shouldn't be you shouldn't have to run into businesses, whenever you have to, get in or out of there and tell, hey, could you move the cars out there?
Can you describe specific instances where this was an issue?
Anytime we get the big red trailer out, that trailer's 40 foot long, plus a vehicle in front of it.
So how many times has that happened since we had the conversation with them?
But it also goes back to how many times does the fire department get their rigs out too? It doesn't matter.
If it's an emergency,
It's
once
an
is enough.
emergency. One time is enough, but even when we're hauling equipment in and changing around, I have to swing all the way around to get in order to get straight to back up. You cannot do that when you have cars at this part on the west side of the parking lot, blocks that entrance. So you got like this much through the drive-through to try without hitting somebody's car. I do not want any car damage beyond the county insurance. I am very respectful of our equipment and wanna make sure that nothing gets damaged or somebody else's. So when they park that close, it lies an issue. Doesn't matter which way you come in, doesn't matter if you come in from the south or you come in from the north. You still have to go all the way around. Even the semis that have to pull in there to unload their alcohol, they do the whole same thing as I do. So, and they have problems getting in there because people park there. So we've had classes that I've had out-of-state people come, or out-of-county people come to, that didn't have parking spots because we had people parking there. So if I'm gonna have trainings in there, and state is using our building for trainings, I wanna have those spots open.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just don't wanna make a decision without the businesses being full aware, and I think we should make it, at least, I don't know about making it a public hearing, but at least, notifying them that we will have this meeting. We could potentially schedule it for 1 week, 2 weeks out, however long we need for notifying businesses that this is coming, because I don't know about you, but I would like a sign popping up saying that you can't park here when you've been allowed to.
And that's exactly what happened previously, and that's when we reverted and changed course.
But when that happened, I also went to Taste twice, left cards, told him to call me, and he never did. So I'm just telling you, I had to go when Kurt Shipper had that alcohol store there. I went to him, and he was the go-to between everybody. It wasn't the building owner that came to me. So I will do my due diligence, I will talk with them, and we can set up a time, and I appreciate that.
And when we talk to them, if they go along, then we don't have to, then we don't have to take the time to meet them, but if they wanna have a meeting with the board, that's an option, but.
Okay.
I don't know, we're leaning towards letting them use the drive up, but, closing the parking lot off to.
Sure.
And then,
I think we should have a meeting with them either way. If they're not gonna have a substantial issue with it, that's easier for the conversation, but I think we should have it at a public forum in that regard so that it's open and available to anyone.
we could put it on the schedule, have it advertised that this is happening, to give the business owners ample time to be notified and be present. If they're unable to be present, then it's unfortunate for them. But I would like potentially a diagram and, some things drawn up of ideas of what you guys would like in place. That way they can see it prior to it happening as well. And then I think if, we get that information, we can make a decision then.
So we'll put it on the agenda for 3 weeks. 2 weeks,
I think 3 weeks would be fine.
3 weeks?
3 sounds good.
Gives them 21 days roughly for notification.
Let the record show that we will readdress this issue in 3 weeks.
Who's gonna take care of notifying?
What
Yeah.
do you guys think? I think that's her. Yes,
Yeah.
yep.
Should be her response.
Probably should come from the board. But she said, use our head.
She could notify them that it's coming, but we could potentially send a letter to them as well as an
I
official
don't know who to
notification.
send it to.
Send it to the business,
Yeah,
directly to the business.
business owners.
All the businesses. Okay.
It's all out there.
I would.
I don't know off the top of my
There's a
head.
liquor store, there's Verizon. I don't even
Here,
know.
There's a hair salon.
Chiropractor,
Oh, yep.
Well, he owns it, doesn't he?
that's Shane Tate, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I think the only one you have to send a letter to is the one
Probably
that
be
owns
the
it.
tape, probably just a tape, yeah.
Yeah, just,
I just send it to Shane and go from there.
yeah, cause I don't think you need to send it to anybody else.
He
It's
can talk
the
to-
owner that
he
we're.
can
Yeah.
talk- He can talk. to
Okay,
his,
yeah, he could talk to the business owners and notify them that this is happening too.
They're his tenants, so he can talk to his tenants about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. We'll talk about it. Discussion to approve the increase of $148.28 to NICOG. It's a per capita increase from 76 cents to 82 cents.
So this was noticed when they sent their invoice for their application. We submitted what you guys approved last year.
Yep.
And they sent us back, a notice saying it wasn't paid in full, that the capita increased, so they requested more funds. But that is not what was approved by the board last year, so before we can pay what the difference, we need approval from the board.
I would move that we approve the increase of $148.48 to NICOG. Do I have a second to that?
Hey Doug, we'll be ready for you.
Second by Plath. Any
Thanks.
discussion?
Bye.
Carter, you understand it? Yep. All those in favor, please say aye.
Alright,
Opposed? Motion carried unanimous.
I'll jump for that rest of real quick.
Yep, we're waiting for Doug.
Yeah, so I'm the supervisor anymore. So, is Roger gonna give us one gold card, sign it?
No.
Just one? Two? For two of them?
Yeah, there's,
Here you go.
You said Renee would be good.
after that.
Black caps are now.
I got
Good morning, everyone.
So does this go down to tax?
Yeah.
You're welcome. Yes, you're welcome.
Tammy, you need to grow.
I know,
Yeah.
Put on your high heels.
yeah, I know.
Jack will be back in a minute.
No, I saw John
All right.
Connors, he has those spring shoes that you can jump over the tire with them. Get some little.
I don't know, I'm not very coordinated, so it don't work very well.
Well, at least this way it'd be on camera,
Yes,
so you can send it into AFP.
Exactly a reason not
Wow,
to do
you
it.
should levitate. You know, having spring shoes and then levitate.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Doug, we are up to approve resolution 1/3/2305 to award bridge contract replacement.
Yes, good morning, everyone. We have a project that was led at the Department of Transportation December, I think it was the third Tuesday of December. Low responsible bidder was Graves Construction. They're out of Spencer. They've worked with us before. This is a federally funded bridge project, so it will all be funded through the Department of Transportation. It's located on the west line of Section 16 of Wesley Township, which would be on P64, approximately 3 miles north of Highway 18. They did receive 2 bids for the project. Graves were low, and we're coming to the point where we need to award this contract, and I would recommend to the board that they award that. What will happen is the board will award this. We will notify the contractor that the project has been awarded. Then the contractor will submit signed contract along with performance bonds and certificates of insurance, and then I will sign on part of Kossuth County electronically. I will actually sign the contract. There's a resolution here. The board believes it's in the best interest to construct this, sought appropriate professional guidance, finds the resolution appropriate and necessary. Therefore, be it resolved that we accept the bid from Graves Construction Company in the amount of $653,836.70 and award the associated contract to the same. And then it goes, be it further resolved that all other resolutions, parts of the resolutions in conflict with this are hereby repealed, and be it resolved by the board that after receiving the necessary contract documents, including but not limited to the contractor's bond, the certificate of insurance, Douglas A. Miller, County Engineer for Kossuth County, be and is hereby designated, authorized, and empowered on behalf of the Board of Supervisors of said Kossuth County to execute the contracts in connection with the awarded construction project led through the DOT for this county.
The resolution number is 1/03/2305. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Motion by Black, I'll second it. Any questions on the resolution? Any comments? Carter, you heard all that?
Yep.
Good.
So what all, for the county is responsible for, any of this? This is all just taken care of by the DOT?
Well, the county will be, we did all the design work on it, we got everything ready for letting, it was led at the Department of Transportation. Now we will be responsible for all the inspection on it, all the construction staking, all the contract administration of that sort.
Okay.
Any other questions? Hearing none, we'll roll call vote, please.
Stecker,
Yes.
Nah,
Yes.
Whacker,
Yes.
sorry,
Wow.
Flat,
Yes.
Dirks.
Yes.
Went back to my old things.
I'm sorry, I didn't know what order everything was in on this one, so.
And I messed it up anyway.
So
It's
anyway.
alright. Not a big deal.
And Tim, if you could sign that
Oh,
as
sure.
well, and then you'll have one for your copy. Very good. Thank you.
Yep.
We have some construction in there.
We have one request, it's from Al Lubenthal. Al and his brother Andy own a hog facility. It's on 100th Avenue. It's near where Phil and Rosemary Borman live, if you're familiar with that area. They apply manure to, I believe, Phil's field, and then also there's Carl, who I believe is Phil's father. Anyway, they need to traverse a road, 100th Avenue, in order to pump that manure, and they are requesting to go under 100th Avenue with a pipe. Our policy on this is the county road department installs the pipe. The person that is applying for this, they pay for the metal pipe to go through there. It's kind of a win-win situation for everybody. This allows a person to get that applied without going out on roads and tearing them up. So we kind of together put that through. So Al has requested that. We have a permit that he has signed, and I would recommend that the board would approve of this as well.
Is this going on gravel or pavement?
It's under gravel road. It's a 100th Avenue is a
I'll make a
gravel.
motion.
Carter makes a motion to approve.
I would second that.
Becker seconds it. Any more discussion?
I mean, I don't know if you guys caught Doug's explanation there, but I think this is a good situation in general. We've done many of these. It saves a lot of abuse of the gravel roads when manure is applied in the fall, so it's a good thing.
Yep.
Any more discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. Anything on zoning or anything else?
Just some discussion items, I guess, quickly. The Irvington Bridge, talking with Adam this morning, he is optimistic that they are going to kind of clean up and finish up their work to get that bridge in there this week. And then we may have to haul them a couple of loads of fill in order to complete that, which I think we can find. Then they need to put guardrail on, and they're planning on doing that. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll get that thing opened up. We still have open positions at the mechanic shop and 2 positions at the Titanca shop. And we have interviewed some applicants for the Titanca shop, and need to talk with Scott and make a decision there. Another thing, just for the public and for the board, we are starting to switch over some of our strobe lights on snowplow trucks. We had a grade 1 flashing amber light, and we've switched to a grade 2. Along with that switch, we are putting on the back of the trucks blue and white strobe lights. So on the right-hand side is blue, and on the left-hand side is white. And if you've noticed, I think the DOT has done this completely. The theory behind it is that if you are driving and you see strobe lights coming to you and they're both amber, if you see strobe lights ahead of you, they're both amber, that means a snowplow truck is coming towards you. If you see white and blue, you know it's heading in the same direction as what you are going. So it gives some advance notice to the motorists, the traveling motorists that are out there with the road when the plows are out there. This is just snowplow trucks. It's not our maintainers. Our maintainers just have the same ones as what we've had. And then Bill Depew, he leases our east cylinder gravel pit, and he has indicated he does not want to lease that, so we're getting ready to advertise that in Kossuth and Palo Alto County. I also have some people that have expressed interest as soon as they found out Bill was not going to be doing that. They've already contacted me, so we'll be getting some people straight there. That's all that I have for county engineer. For zoning administrator, we have scheduled a public hearing for January 23, 2023. For that public hearing for the Planning and Zoning Commission on the carbon dioxide ordinance. I have been working with Tim Whiffle on that. Notifications are in the papers. They'll be in this week's Sway City, Bancroft, and Kossuth County Advance this week and next week. Tim is planning.
When was that, Doug?
What was the date on that again? You said-
It's I will be emailing you the notice. I'm just kind of getting caught up on everything.
Was it January 23rd?
January 23, which is a Monday. January 23, 2023. Notifications are in the paper. Did the board pass the same papers earlier today?
Yes.
So they will all be, you did not add any?
Correct.
Okay. Tim is planning to attend this hearing. He also suggests having a court reporter present. So this will all be transcribed. He also suggests to start lobbying other governments, other private entities, to either present or start submitting information to be added into that. And he also said that more than likely, as soon as the ordinance is approved by the Board of Supervisors, Summit, if it's any indication, it will go to court, as they have with other counties, so.
What time is that meeting, Doug?
It is at 4 o'clock.
4 p.m.
Judge, I am sending emails out to the cities unless you.
I'm sorry, I don't have enough time to do anything like that, so.
Where will that be held?
In this boardroom.
Oh, okay.
Is anyone else on is Carter the only
Yeah,
person that is?
Carter's on.
He's the only one on that
Yeah.
Okay,
he's
thank
the
you.
only one.
That is all that I have.
Thank you, Doug.
Sure.
Doug, on the amber lights you were talking about, can you describe the difference between the grade 1 and grade 2?
Grade 2 is visible for further
Farther.
away.
So it's a measurement that way?
Yeah, the lumens that are put out.
Okay.
Josh, here is a card.
Okay.
If you have a cellular phone, I text out snow notices to the board. So if you would text me on my cell, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I look forward to working with you.
Yeah,
If
you
you do
too.
have some questions, feel free to come down. This is Carter's.
Carter's right here.
Carter, I put a card there. If you will also forward me your information, that way if I have snow notices what the road department is doing, I can get them to you, so.
Yeah, no, I was gonna ask you what was the best way to
Yeah,
get in contact with you, so, sounds
Sure.
good.
all right, very good. With that, I don't have anything else, so thank you very much.
Yep, thanks, Doug. Our next thing on the agenda is discussion about compensation board recommendation. Come on up. You're getting pretty familiar with doing all this.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, let's see each other.
So, I think Tammy sent you out a kind of an updated packet, of the items that we got at our meeting. Some of the things that we usually talk about are like the health insurance and how, you know, Kossuth County pays 100%, and there are other counties that do. There's 38 that pay the single, premium 100%, and there are only 5 that pay 100% for the family. Although if you look there, like between 80%, well, all of, way more than a majority pay 70% up to the 100%. There are 18 other counties that are self-funded and 15 that are partially self-funded. Then kind of the next is page 15, and that has where we compared to the similar sized cities in northern Iowa, where the, like Carroll, Iowa, Cherokee play in those counties. And then it has the differences, some are above, some are below the averages of those counties. And then our neighboring counties, Emmett, Hancock, Humboldt, Palo Alto, Pocahontas, Winnebago, and Wright. We have those and everybody's about, the county attorney is just a hair below, the county sheriff is over $1,100 below that average. So, and then page 16, then we look at state averages on the top, and then the bottom of that page is where we compare to the counties that have a similar valuation for property tax valuation. And there again, everybody's below except for the supervisors. And so, and the biggest one is the county sheriff again, over almost $11,000 behind that average. Page 17 has a history of what's been recommended on the left side, and then your decisions are on the right side. Down at the bottom, it has where we recommended 5% for the supervisors, 8% for the county attorney, 8% for the auditor, 8% for the recorder, and 15% for the sheriff, and 8% for the treasurer. And it shows their current salaries and how much the increase would be, and then what with that increase, what the salary would be, so. Questions?
You can decrease them all, as long as it's meet to everyone. If I'm not mistaken, the supervisor, you can do 0 on the supervisors if you so want to.
Right.
I think I'm correct on that.
Yeah, the supervisors is the only one that you can move independent of the rest.
Yeah, last
The
year,
others need to be moved equally percentage-wise.
Right.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah, last year it was reduced 16.6%, everybody across the board.
Okay,
Yep, and that worked out, nicely because it was 1/6 reduction, because the sheriff was 12, everyone else was 6, so it took 1% off. Or 2% off the sheriff, 1% off everyone else. But,
Probably the biggest thing is we pay all the insurance here. That's the biggest factor, I think.
Yes.
Josh or Carter, do you have any questions?
I was at the compensation board meeting, I understand, yeah.
Then I would call for a motion to approve, disapprove of the compensation board recommendation.
I would make a motion to accept it as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Stecker, second by Wagner, discussion.
I think I would be more, I don't know, it just, I guess the current rate of inflation is about 7.3% or something like that right now. So I mean, the recommendations for salary are actually higher than that. I don't know what everyone's thoughts are, but I wouldn't mind going down a point or two.
The two things I would respond to that is the sheriff is higher primarily because of the state law, that we have to comply with, or are supposed to comply with, obviously.
I get that one, yeah.
The other ones, you would have to reduce it by an equal percentage, so
Yeah.
8 and 5 would be, there would be something that would be odd math there. Not saying it's impossible, but do you have a number or recommended
Well,
reduction?
I would recommend lowering by 2%.
You can't do that, because it would have to be a percent of a percent. So like, if you wanted,
You can do 80%,
Auditor.
60%.
well, if you wanted the 8s reduced by 2%.
Oh,
that
I
would
see
be
what
a-
you're saying.
that would be a
Okay,
4,
okay.
So you'd have to do a 25% reduction.
I see what you're saying, okay.
It has to be proportional.
I think
Yeah.
the supervisors have got caught up and then some.
Oh, yes.
I agree. Mr. Chairman, there's a motion that's been made and seconded.
Yeah, do you want to vote?
I mean, we're, comparatively to other counties around us, we are paid rather well.
Mhm. So I'll call for the vote. Do a roll call vote, please.
Plath,
Pass.
Nath,
Can you clarify the motion for me?
to accept the recommendation of the compensation board, which allows for a 5% increase for the board of supervisors, 8% increase for the auditor, county attorney, recorder, and 15% increase for the sheriff, 8% for the county treasurer.
It was as presented.
Okay. No,
Wactor,
No. I made the motion, I would say yes.
I'll say no. Floor is open for a new motion.
I would make a motion for a 25% decrease
To everything.
in, to the salary, yes, to everything.
Does that include the supervisors, or you want to change that lower, or? That's the other option here.
We could do, 25% decrease, for the department heads and sheriff, and 50% decrease to the supervisors.
So your motion is 25% for everyone except the supervisors, and that would be 50%, correct?
Correct.
Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Mr. Wagner seconds it. Any more discussion?
I guess the reason I made the motion to accept it as it was, presented is I feel the compensation board does their due diligence to go through all the numbers, and there was quite a few years we accepted their recommendation as presented, so that would be my logic behind it. I appreciate the work they do and
Any more discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Plath,
Pass.
Nat,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Stecker,
no,
Jerks,
I'll say yes. Motion
so is that an abstain or pass?
I said
say
no.
no.
Oh, you said no.
Came back to me.
I didn't catch that.
So we have Nat, yes, Wactor, yes, Plath, or Stecker, no, Jerks, yes, and then Plath.
Well, thank you very much. We do appreciate your time and we'll try to, yeah,
Yes.
we'll work at it
You're
again
getting way
next year.
too good at it.
I keep learning though. I've got lots to learn yet. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you next year, Tony.
You bet.
We have a, next thing on the agenda is priority list for natural conservation and wildlife area. Everybody had a chance to look at it? Motion to approve by Plath, second by
I'll second.
Stecker. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carried. Next thing on our agenda is reappoint Megan Rasmussen as District 2 Conservation Board member.
She's my appointee, so I will move to reappoint.
Motion by Plath, I'll second your motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. Next, we are up to elected official department head employee appointees. And the first one on there to be appointed is Donna Nielsen. I would move to approve Donna. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Plath. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried unanimous. The second one is Carissa Mueller as Emergency Management Coordinator. Do I have a motion to approve, Carissa? I'll move to approve. Is there a second?
Yes.
Second by Wagner. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. The next one is EMS Administrator, Phil Elbers. Do I have a motion to approve, Phil?
So moved.
Motion by Stecker, second by
I'll second.
Carter.
Aye.
I heard Carol.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. The next one is on-site evaluation for the master matrix. Aaron Monte.
So moved.
Motion by Plath, second by
I'll second.
Stecker.
Yep.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next one is weed commissioner. Again, Aaron Monte. Carter?
I'll make the motion.
Can't leave you out, Carter.
Get your name in the minutes. Again.
Yeah, second by
I'll second.
Wagner. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The next one is environmental health specialist, same person, Aaron Montag. Is there a motion to approve him? Motion by Plath, second by
I'll second.
Carter. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried, unanimous. The next one is Veterans Affairs, Daniel Green. Do I have a motion to approve Daniel Green?
So moved.
Motion by Stecker,
Second.
second by Plath or
Wagner.
Wagner. Any discussion? None. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. Next one is Safety Director for Secondary Roads, Nick Roffler. Do I have a motion to approve Nick?
I'll make a motion.
Carter was moving his lips,
I'll second.
second by
Oh.
Stecker.
I'll make the motion.
Yeah, you're
You
good.
did. All
Okay.
those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Unanimous. Next one is appoint Doug Miller as county engineer. Motion by Plath, I'll second the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. Next one, engineer of Kossuth County landfill and transfer station, Doug Miller. Do I have a motion to approve Doug?
So moved.
Motion by Stecker, I'll second that motion. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. The next one is zoning administrator, Doug Miller. Do I have a motion to approve Doug?
I'll make that motion.
Scott Wagner.
Yes.
Do I have a second? Carter?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carried unanimous. Next one is manager of Kossuth County landfill and transfer station, Dustin Hanson.
I just have one.
I have a motion by Mr. Stecker, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Wagner. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried unanimous. Next one is forest fruit tree restoration tax exemption. Do I have a motion to approve the tax exemption for fruit trees?
So moved.
Motion by Stecker, second by
I'll second.
Wagner. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion carried. Next one is township appointment for trustees and clerks. Actually, this one's for clerks. We have a list of the clerks for the township trustees. Do I have a motion to approve the clerks?
So moved.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
I'll second.
I got Carter, and then I'll have Stecker.
Carter.
You guys got a breeze in between talking.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried unanimous. Next one is township trustees for a 4-year term. And we have the list. Is there any questions on the list? If not, I need a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
A motion by Wagner, second by Carter's talking again.
I didn't say anything. Second.
Your lips move just a little bit on the big screen, so.
Yeah. So I have a motion and
I'll
a
second the
second.
motion.
I have a motion and a second. And no discussion. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. Next one is appointment to the NICOG board, city official business. Is to appoint Harley Colash as our city official.
Full house.
Full house.
I'm sorry. I would move to approve Harley.
And we're,
Oh, yeah, we got Maureen
I'll
below. Yep.
second that.
Second by Stecker. Any discussion?
Who made that motion?
Right.
Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. Next is the Board of Health. Appoint Jack Plath, Dixie Meyer, and Dr. Rachel Van Tiger.
So moved.
Motion by Plath, second by
I'll second.
Carter. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. We're 10:30, want to quit here and call Renee? You can call Renee, we'll take a 5-minute break.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Got the rest of my legs.
Are they still doing the Farm Bureau meeting tonight?
Yeah.
I've heard otherwise.
Then we
No, you guys.
Beginning of-
Today's not over yet. We're gonna answer that question.
Oh, I know. Is it getting any more exciting out there,
Oh, we're not having a EMS.
We had a whole one, so.
or? Yeah. Oh, that's,
Last year, we had, it looks like it's been EMS administrator slash.
is it really?
Dickinson County, close today.
Oh, wow.
But did we approve you in?
Yeah, we had EMS today. I made that motion.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then,
Is that coming this way or not?
It's
Oh,
going.
we did that
we did it
earlier
early.
today.
Right on the
In
line
agenda.
between
Yeah.
snow and.
Yeah, you're good.
yeah,
Yeah.
That was this morning, when you were
Well,
talking.
last year, we did it as a department head.
See what the radar actually.
yeah, we don't have to once we did that earlier.
Yeah, you should be good.
Trustees.
Well, it says we're out of it now.
Oh,
Everything's to the north.
March has.
Oh, really?
So if you wanna ask March, she can
that's
send it.
okay.
Yeah, and it's going north, so.
Oh, you're doing?
Yeah.
Hopefully we're,
Come in, come in.
Yeah.
Let me try to.
No,
pull it.
Christmas time.
Yesterday,
I'll do whatever you have.
mornings.
Do you want?
Yeah, it's still, it's saying for tonight. Start at 4 o'clock, 50%, 70%, 80%, 70%, 70, 50, 30,
Whatever.
Snow. All the way into,
But it would have to line both sides.
all the way through tomorrow, they're calling it 30% chance.
Maybe I should go.
Just the.
Just don't forget later.
I gotcha.
Hoping to slow that down.
Yeah. Yeah, that could pile up.
Yeah, that'll be okay.
Let me get back to you.
Okay, no problem. If something's over Thursday,
Okay.
because of the unknown weather for tonight, tomorrow, otherwise, Wednesday works.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, you guys need a clarification on my two?
Yeah.
Or do they?
Well, it won't be this one, it'll be this afternoon, we have a meeting with them this afternoon also. And Roger.
So I don't need to stick around for this one now?
We'll keep it going.
Alright, thank you.
I'll keep you right up to date.
I waiting to hear back from Elizabeth, I think.
Have you hired people or?
No, we got rid of our union, we went with the collective bargaining group.
Oh, okay.
Union wasn't doing that for us. So I pay them.
Sounds good.
Okay,
See you later. So,
yep, thank you.
Yeah.
so there's some issue on some paperwork.
Oh, oh, on how to get the,
Well, according to her, we'll find out.
oh. Yeah, yeah,
Jump through the hoops.
Yes.
Nice, but they let us know where the hoops are at though. That's the problem. Pretty much the back door.
Say,
Oh, you want me to?
There's another one.
Yeah, give me the iPad. And we're back.
Got it?
How many are negotiating for?
There's between 17 and 19.
Oh, okay.
The numbers would be bigger, but every office, first deputy, wow.
Oh, because they're attached to.
Like reporters.
The conference.
There's one of them, that's a deputy.
Three-sided one.
Yeah, so do we have to hit any number to call out?
You call.
Okay.
Dial one and over.
It's an illegal one. What'd you call it?
Accelerator.
Accelerator. Accelerator.
I shoved that in at 30.6 and it's not like a quarter of a mile away, ain't got a chance.
Really? How many you got in that? Oh, that ain't enough. I got way bigger list than that.
They're not for gophers, in other words.
No, it's not for gophers.
You ever seen one of them games?
Good
Good morning.
morning, Renee.
Hello.
Good morning. You have the board here.
An accelerator.
Just 1 second.
I said, the only thing any better, if you could neck that down to a phonograph legal.
Oh.
That's gonna go through some stuff.
Oh, and it's gonna go through in a hurry.
In a hurry.
Oh.
Keep it for a souvenir.
You damn, I'll put it on the bar. That's cool. I've never heard of such a thing.
So does that all happen before it's out of the barrel, or?
Well, this is what actually drives down the barrel,
Okay.
so there's no tracing the bullet, that's why they made it illegal.
Oh.
Cause it doesn't, normally you can trace the riflings.
Right.
When
That
that
eliminates
bullet
that.
comes out, this plastic drives down the rifle, and then the bullet,
Oh.
and that's why they call it an accelerator, that's all.
Also, all the
Instead of-
pushers can push it.
Yeah, instead of being a 30 caliber bullet, it's a 22 caliber bullet.
Oh.
223.
And that's pretty small.
Hey, that's
They just approved it this morning.
I've done.
Really? Yeah. Never heard of it. So I wanted to go, I wanna apply. For your apple trees? Yeah. Is it a certain percentage of trees per acre, or? That's you, that's what you need now. They said. I don't know nothing about it. That would be,
Well, ask the guys that approved it.
that would be.
What?
The tax abatement for the fruit trees.
For the fruit trees.
They didn't pass an abatement.
What about it?
How do you apply for that? What are the qualifications?
No,
Contact the assessor's office.
this was to have
It
the
was setting the
conservation to
Inspection.
inspect the,
it was conservation or assessor's office, I believe.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's,
I would ask Judy, she's gonna know.
I'm good, how about you?
I'm guessing.
Discussion.
Yes, you need three trees.
I don't know, I got one tree.
He's got
Renee is on.
hundreds.
She's on the right.
Oh,
Assessor, conservation staff.
that's peaches.
It's to appoint the assessor or conservation staff to inspect the fruit trees, that's what.
You too, thanks.
There was a tax thing on that too.
I would imagine that's in the code. I'm not an expert on that, but I bet it's in the code. But yeah, we have Renee on the phone here, whenever
Okay.
you guys are ready.
We are ready. Oh, I found it.
Are you still there, Renee? Hanging out?
I am. Morning, happy New Year.
Renee, we have Willie and Ron and Nick in attendance.
They're in the back of the room, hiding out.
And we have 4 supervisors here and 1 on Zoom that has a fever. So, we're all here.
Okay. Well, as I understand, there's 2 new board members, is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Well, sorry, I guess our first time we'll just have to meet through disembodied voices. So I look forward to, meeting you. I just wanted to make sure that, well, not make sure, but, that everybody was aware of what has been filed with the Public Employment Relations Board. That's the state of Iowa agency that governs, administers, and regulates Iowa's collective bargaining law. So I think sometime late last week, I got several documents from the Public Employment Relations Board on a petition and stipulation, and I did talk to Roger, Friday, I think it was, or Thursday, I don't remember.
It was Friday.
And then I had the phone conversation too with Will, about this. So, this is, Roger signed the stipulation of bargaining unit, and basically there's 2 things. One is, basically what that means is that the board has agreed to how the unit has been described. So, I just wanna make sure the board is, has knowledge of this, what's been filed, and then how do we proceed going, forward. So, and I'll back up if I'm just kind of jumping into this too quickly and you need a little bit more background. But before bargaining can take place between an employer and, in this case, it'll be the employee organization, the description of the unit needs to be defined. So that means who is appropriately included, what classifications are appropriately included in this bargaining unit. It isn't just how everybody wants it to be, because those guidelines are all established and mandated by the Public Employment Relations Act and the Public Employment Relations Board. So there are some positions that are just statutorily excluded. They can't be included even if the both parties say, well, yeah, we think they should be included. So we want to make sure that we are complying with what PERB would be considered to be an appropriate bargaining unit. So the petition, and Will and I talked about this, a little bit last week, and this is, everybody is interested in coming up with something that, we all agree to and we can move forward. And hopefully I can be, not hopefully, I will be of help on that. So the first thing we need to do is just, again, I wanted to bring you all up to speed on this because it's a formal process and procedure. These are documents that are important documents, and we just want to make sure we have the description defined correctly. So what I asked Will, and we can do this, separately too, is the description really should be very specific. Exactly what job titles and classifications are included. The petition that's on file right now with PERB is just says the employees of the Kossuth County Courthouse. I did call the person at PERB last week just to alert them that this was something that's maybe going to need to be revised. And so she's making the board, the Public Employment Relations Board, aware of that. So I think the first thing that we need to do is just to make sure you board are all aware and understand that this has been filed and that sort of thing. And if there's any questions I can answer. Secondly is to, work on getting the description of the unit correctly defined. And one of the things that I will need help with that is just a list of employees. I think Will had this, that the deputies would not be included. So just a list of the employees and job titles that would be employed in the courthouse. So I will just stop there, see if anybody has any questions. Can I back up and explain anything, or I know this is for board, this is perhaps the first time you're hearing of this, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is just the courthouse employees.
Well, and there again, see, what does that mean?
Are they included?
I mean, I think courthouse employees to you, to the county may be different than what, the association is viewing it. That's why we need to be, when we sign a stipulation, that means that we have agreed to who is included. And in talking with Will last week, I don't think that's the case. I don't. Now, we'll get there. I'm not saying this is any like huge, big, deal or problem. But that's the issue here is both sides agree and have defined who exactly and precisely is included.
Is there anything that needs to change besides the description of who's included? Or is everything else kinda on track or good to go?
Yeah, I think right now, the first order of business is to, make sure that we're clear on who's exactly included and who is exactly excluded. Because this is going to be the bargaining unit.
Now,
So those classifications are going to be the bargaining unit. And then, so I think that's really the only thing that. And so what I plan on doing as soon as we get that adequately described, which might need another conference call next week, after I get some info from Tammy and from Will, and bring that back and make sure that the board is, okay with how that's being described. Once that's done, I'm hoping, and I think this will happen, that Herb will allow us to sign another stipulation.
Okay.
Cause I'm not exactly sure the stipulation on 5, this is probably a question for Todd, for the county attorney, is whether that, I can't use another way, valid, because the board, the board is the employer here. So I'm thinking that will happen based on my discussion last week, is that we will simply file a new petition. And I'm assuming the association's gonna be okay with that. And it's just a matter of us arriving at, the description, we sign a new stipulation, submit it to Herb, and, we just go from there.
Okay. So we'll have Tammy send you on a list of the names of the people and their job?
Yeah, the job titles, I need names just because the job titles is more important, but I think it makes more sense, I think, if I can see the names, although that's not really what I'm looking for. It's it's the classification.
Okay,
Because it doesn't, it's really the classification, and, you know, there is already, because there was a bargaining unit there before, there is an there has been a description of the bargaining unit in place there. So either we use that same one, or we start there and we modify it, but I think first and foremost is a list of names and job titles and department.
we will get that to you.
Okay, and then if you have, any questions in the meantime, but I'm hoping maybe we can get that done, and I think between Will and I, we can, you know, work out that description, and then by next, you know, your meeting next week is just a matter of, you know, showing you that, submitting that to you, and then yay, nay, and
We'll put it on the
get it
agenda,
sent into her.
we'll put it on the agenda for next week.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, that's really all I had. Again, if you have any questions, you know, this is, kind of new, but nothing insurmountable, nothing we can't work through, and we will.
Nick, do you have any questions? No. Okay, thank you, Renee.
Thank you,
All
Renee.
right, thank you.
Yep,
I'll talk to
thanks.
you next week.
Okay, see you.
Bye-bye.
So are we still gonna meet with her this afternoon, Roger? On a conference call?
We've done all that, haven't we?
I would think so.
Yeah.
That was her.
I think we just did it, I think.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand what she's saying. I'm sure that the paperwork I filed is not
It's
in
not-
legal terms. It's probably a little vague.
Yeah.
But that ain't nothing but a couple, get her the list of names and read the included and excluded, and it's done deal. Just
I didn't know it had to be specific to every individual. I thought you could bargain as a,
Well,
anybody that wasn't.
that's the way I understood it from the lady from PERB, and she accepted it, but she wants more details. It ain't nothing but a quick changeover.
Yeah.
And refile it with the state.
Yeah, we're fine.
And we gotta find out too, whether we get to include,
Well,
They've always been included, and the way she talked on Friday, when I talked to her, she said they can't be included, and I said, well, they have to be. They're clerical staff of the county. Just because it's a different department, it ain't no different than the recorder.
Oh.
Well, the Roger can't have them.
cause they tried going with Roger couldn't have them.
No, you can't do it.
So you can't have them by themselves.
Oh, they used to be, but now they're not included in the sheriff's union?
Well, the sheriff, we don't have a union anymore either, according
Okay.
to what I've been
And
told.
so was I. I was over across the street too.
Yeah, you were at once. I've been told the sheriff is not gonna have union representation anymore.
No, their union is.
And your union's gone. So, I guess if they're not represented by the courthouse, who would they be represented by? No.
They're elected official above them.
Are you gonna ask them if they wanna be?
Yeah,
Well-
they wanna be with us. Yeah, cause that's the way it's been for the last, I mean, they were never part of the union, they didn't pay dues, but they fell under what we got. So it ain't, to me, it ain't no different than the auditors, you know, an elected official and we're under her, and Karen's elected official and she has people under them. It's all the same, we're all in the same pot, basically. Just different, we all have different bosses.
Take care of it, Will.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Work with Dan to get the names.
I got the names.
Good.
She could have had them right now.
Well, we have to get two. And then Joanne, we got to take her time off. But when I did this, she wasn't dead.
No, she's good.
Yeah, Christiana. Autumn's a deputy now. And now we're down one more.
Just all deputies aren't gonna be on?
All
Used
deputies.
used to be just first deputies.
Now, all deputies are on.
All deputies. Because they fall under the percentage of whatever.
So,
As of July 1st. This coming July or the past? Okay. No, that's fine, if she's a deputy, we just take her off. Good?
anything else? You got anything else? Well, then we're gonna go to Board of Supervisor appointments. Do I have a motion?
I highlighted the ones that need to change because they were filled by Donnie and Caitlin. So, we'll use that.
We'll approve them after we get done writing in. The first one is third official corrections. Kyle, you're on that. You wanna stay on that?
That's actually the only one I would like to trade out or get off of. Brought that up last year, I believe, but I don't mind meetings necessarily, but I don't have a strong passion there, I think.
Who would you like to?
Well, in the work with workforce development, we've got a lot going on there, and I've kind of seen connections between workforce development and economic development, and I'd be interested in being part on that, maybe the alternate. I don't know about the delegate, but I think I can build some connections that way if we trade around a little bit, so that's what I would propose.
So would you,
Jack's the alternate for that right now.
cross your name off and who would volunteer to be the third district, judicial district?
The meetings are typically over in Sioux City. There's usually one a year in Sheldon. The meetings are quarterly, so there's only 4 meetings a year.
Carter or Wagner, which one you would like to do?
And this has to do with the court system, correct?
Correct.
And, yeah, okay,
The Department of Corrections.
sure.
Would you volunteer, Carter?
Well, I don't know, unless Josh is terribly interested in it.
Rock, paper, scissors?
Before we get going too much, how many, are we just gonna go down the list, or how many appointments do we need to do for each of us, or?
Well, we need to do all
I
of
guess,
them.
what are we looking at? I haven't been here for this process before.
They all have to be.
They all have to be done.
So
Yeah,
what he's asking is if it needs to be divided out evenly, so like each person has
No.
4.
It'll never
So
be-
one person could have 8, another person could have 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah. I suppose I would be open for taking it, and then, I guess in future years, maybe rotate out, but.
That's fine.
Well, then we'll write Wagner in there. The next one is the Boone River Watershed Authority. I've been on there with Galen. Carter, you want?
I'm in the watershed, so I'll take this place there.
And the next one's Juvenile Detention Board.
So, back to that one, Roger, are you the main person for that? And
Glenn, Casey and I just did it together.
we did it together?
Yeah,
Okay.
we didn't really say.
I didn't know if you guys wanted to be, primary or alternate.
No, and I just assumed that we just be
leave it the way it is.
Leave it the way it is.
We don't have a primary or a secondary on it.
Yeah.
If that's fine with you, Carter?
Yeah, that works for me.
Unless you wanna be the primary, I don't really care.
You'll probably beat everyone.
Go for
it.
So, juvenile detention, Kyle, you wanna keep that one?
Yep, I'm enjoying that one.
I've been the alternate forever.
It's a good group, as you said previously too.
Yeah, I was there for quite a few years and I enjoyed it. Care Connections of Northern Iowa.
I would be interested in this one. I've had a couple people approach me about being on the board.
Okay, Carter, you got it. Unless Blackburn
Okay.
wants it. Nope. DCAT board.
I guess we're not real familiar with the decaf.
Can you explain what that is? I know I asked one time, but trying to remember.
I've never had anything to do with it.
I don't know a lot about it. I know with Central Iowa Juvenile Detention, we are the fiscal agent for quite a few DCAT areas. I think it has to do with some grant funding and stuff like that. I don't know much on specifics for their programs or anything like that. I couldn't help you much there.
Yeah, they get money from the state, they do stuff, they give some money to like care team and, things like that.
Yeah, I know they have different programs, but I don't know much information about them.
Well, I forgot to ask, does anybody wanna be the alternate for the Care Connection board other than me?
You wanna get an education?
Do you wanna be the alternate? I think it's a really important job. I think it'd be really good.
I'll be alternate.
Yeah.
That's a good one to learn on. That's
Yeah,
got a lot
it'd
of,
be good.
moving pieces.
Where are those meetings held?
Typically Emmitsburg, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
DCAT board, I don't.
Is that a monthly or quarterly or?
I think it's quarterly.
I was thinking it's quarterly or bi-monthly, but I'm not sure.
And you said
I don't think it's
it
every
kind of
month.
deals with the care team.
Well, they get state money and then they take the money and they do mini grants over it. They give like care teams some money, they do some swimming pool passes, they do
What?
some.
Would that be something that might benefit Carter if he's part of the Care Connections?
Yeah.
To be part of that?
Good, yeah.
Well, care team and care
Sure,
connections are different.
that's fine. I
Yeah.
can,
Oh,
Care
okay.
connections is mental health.
Yeah, Care Connections.
Okay, okay, that's where I was.
Carter,
yeah.
Carter, you're it, I think. I've been doing 911 stuff with Donnie, I think, if that's all right with the rest of the board, I'll do the 911.
I was actually interested in.
Are you?
Well, we need an alternate and a
Yeah.
delegate, so.
So I could be the delegate if you be okay with being an alternate.
Why don't we switch it for 1 year and let you be alternate, cause there's a lot of stuff to learn on.
Is there? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be the delegate and then next year we'll switch. If that's all right with you.
No, that's fine. That works.
Early childhood development, Jack, you're still gonna do that?
Yeah, I'm the chairman.
Emergency Management Commission, I've been doing some of that.
I'm actually open for that one as well.
Do you wanna be the alternate, and then let's work that out so that
Yeah,
you can
that
take
makes
it
sense.
over.
Well, there wasn't an
There's
alternate
just
before.
one there, and Donnie was on that previously.
Yeah, I kinda promised Carissa that I'd do it for a year. She's,
That could be a good one to learn on too. I don't.
yeah, why don't you help me
It
out?
would,
That's what I did with Donnie, we sat there.
Just kind of partner on it and then.
Yeah, we'll partner on it.
Okay.
I don't know, sometimes, like even on workforce development, I didn't really learn from anyone. It was just kind of put your feet in the fire and learn as you go, and I appreciate that way of doing it as well, because you're kind of forced to get busy, so I wouldn't be scared either way, but
You got the EMS advisory board. You were on the original one, right?
Yeah, I was on the original.
I've been on it lately. I'll do it 1 year and then I want vacation.
Okay,
ICAP, Jack,
Yep, I'm on that.
kept advisory board. I think,
What is that?
it's defunct right now, we haven't brought it back to life since.
Oh,
Kossuth emergency planning team.
Yeah.
since emergency preparedness team.
Preparedness.
Right. We've done nothing for the last year since
Yeah,
COVID,
they're doing too much.
so I don't know if we wanna just scratch it, or we'll just leave it there.
Just leave it there.
Yeah,
They
leave
might,
it
they
there.
might have some meetings again. but they-
Yeah, got mental health, our Kossuth County Board of Health.
Board of Health.
Yeah, I'm the chairman of that too.
We got economic development, I got enough jobs, who wants to do economic development?
That's the one that I think would work well with workforce. I
Well,
think
and you said you wanted to
coordinate
alternate
those.
that,
Either way.
I could be the delegate for that one. And then we could go together and that way we can, I can kind
Do you wanna be the delegate?
of, yeah, I'll.
That would work.
And then
Since
Kyle,
I'm-
you're the alternate?
Yeah,
Waste management, Jack?
Yep.
Who wants to be the alternate for waste management?
Would I be, I would say I could do that, but is that a conflict of interest? I'm on the waste management committee for the city.
Yeah, I don't think you can represent it
You
twice.
can't do it
yeah,
twice.
probably not
Yeah.
twice.
So I can't do that one then.
No.
Josh, do you wanna do that? Donnie is on there right now. You could be the alternate.
How often do those
That's just a couple of times a year that we.
Yeah.
come from?
Yeah, isn't there one big one for budget and then do other?
Every February.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, go ahead and put me on that.
Yeah.
As alternate.
Who wants to be the alternate for NICOG?
I could do that.
Okay, Carter. North Central Regional Response Commission delegate.
Roger, you're listed as the alternate, would you like to step up to be the delegate, and then I could possibly serve as alternate for that?
Actually, we already appointed Roger as the delegate,
Okay.
just
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, so we can't change that, he's already been approved by the board to do that.
For the North Central Regional.
Oh, sorry, I was
Yeah.
talking nine.
Yeah, we-
I
Yeah,
said
yeah,
nine,
that's why I was-
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, so we need an alternate for NICOG within the other one.
okay,
Yeah, Carter's gonna be the alternate for
Yeah.
NICOG.
yeah,
And then we need North Central Response Commission delegate. Donnie's been.
That's the one I was,
That's what you were
that's what I was
talking
talking
about.
about,
Okay,
so,
So Wagner, you wanna do that?
well, did you wanna do the delegate, and then I could be the alternate for that one?
We can do that for a year and then we'll switch.
Okay.
Remember that. North Iowa Air Community Action Organization. Does anybody really want to learn about North Iowa Community Action?
I could maybe volunteer for that one,
Okay,
if you really want to get off.
well, I've been there quite a while. I think it'd be a
Well,
good.
maybe they're too used to, you know.
That's the problem. I say when you start understanding some of these, it's time to get off of them. Transportation Policy Board delegate.
And Donnie was a delegate, I was the alternate, but there was only one meeting on that in the last 4 years, so I don't know a lot about it. Donnie went to the one meeting, but, I think, is that tied in with NICOG
Yes.
also, I believe?
I think you should.
But I
those two
think
go
it's-
together.
Yeah, I think it's very rare they do anything. I would kinda tie that in with NICOG, match that up,
I think-
if you guys are good with that.
Yeah, I think actually we should move that up right with NICOG and have the same person be the delegate to both because they work together.
Yeah, delegate and alternate together.
Yeah, do those two. They should
So
be the same
so I would
person.
say Roger, and then we got Carter for alternate on that, or who
Yeah.
do we have?
We haven't had anybody, yeah. that's
No, for
good.
NICOG.
For the
For
NICOG.
NICOG.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
so if I
to
agree with
take
that, then.
So yeah, I would say do the same
Or
thing.
take the delegate position on that.
alternate.
I don't know if it makes much difference, there's probably a slim chance they'll meet it all.
Yeah.
That's for the transportation policy board.
Oh, okay,
There was only one meeting in the last 4 years.
yeah,
so-
yeah.
I think they should just be moved up and kind of married together.
Yeah, I would say they should be tied and work as a unit, cause I'm pretty sure it's through NICOG.
So then Carter be the alternate, and then we have Workforce Development Board.
Yep,
Kyle, you've been there forever.
yep.
You gonna keep doing
Yeah, I enjoy that one, and currently Cleo of our region, but we're in the whole process of merging and stuff, we got a lot of things in the works right now with the state, trying to comply with everything, so that's pretty big transition there.
it? Now we have to appoint the Wellness Committee member. Let's go back and go through all these motions first.
They can just be one motion.
Yeah.
What were we doing for emergency management? There was talk between,
We're gonna partner on it.
We're gonna partner on it.
So both of us will basically be delegates.
Yeah, that's what I kinda did with Donnie. And it's kinda important for two people to know what's going on with emergency management. Well, we bought that building, we did a lot of stuff. I guess last year it was a busy job.
Yeah.
I guess I would make a motion to approve the committees as discussed.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Stecker. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried unanimous. Appoint wellness committee member who wants to be wellness.
What is that?
Who was on that before?
Galen.
Galen.
Oh, that was Galen's, okay, that's right.
Wellness and safety, both of the next two ones.
Usually safety is the chair.
Unless you want
Wasn't he
somebody else.
safety?
No, wasn't you?
I would
Oh,
say-
yeah, you were safety, that's right.
Yeah,
Wellness, Carter, you
did
want to do
you
wellness?
want me to do all this, or?
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea.
Okay,
Did you make that motion?
I will move that Carter be the committee member for the wellness program. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Wagner. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 okay,
Opposed? Next one is appoint safety committee member, which is usually the chairman. Do I have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
oh,
By Plath, second by Stecker.
Carter was
For
saying
Carter?
so.
Good.
You can take that.
Any
Okay.
discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
right,
Opposed, motion carried unanimous. Discussion with, are we up to that already?
We are, thank goodness.
Discussion with county auditor.
Okay, so I am leaving Saturday for California. I'll be gone a week. So next week you guys will have either Christie or Melissa here in the boardroom. There's not much on the agenda for next week, actually hardly anything except for what we discussed today. So it shouldn't be hopefully won't be a busy meeting.
Don't have too much fun.
Yeah, I'm swamped trying to get everything done, include the budgets that we have tomorrow and everything else that's going on, so probably be working late the rest of this week trying to get everything done before we leave on Saturday. So, just wanted to let you know that tomorrow for budget workshops, we are not going to, none of the department heads are gonna be talking to you about wages because of the new union that's coming up. Doesn't do us any good to, talk about that tomorrow if, they are gonna be bargaining. So tomorrow it will be just everything besides wages except for those departments that it doesn't affect, like, GIS and emergency management and that kind of stuff. So, but otherwise, those departments that have employees directly under them, they will not be talking to you about salaries tomorrow.
Did the times change at all on that, or it goes pretty well set?
I have to add Roger Fisher, and I have not heard anything from Doug yet, so I don't know. Unless he did something over the weekend, I haven't updated yet today, so. Otherwise, yes.
As far as the budget, we can do everything with wages.
That's what I thought too, and that's what we're expecting to do, and then we'll, after we know more about the bargaining unit, then we can go back and address that, in February.
But that's only, what do we got, 9 employees maybe?
Well, there's quite a bit more than I think, so Ron will, so I have 3 there, and then I have Brittany,
Right.
and then
Nick's got 2.
the 2 new ones, and Nadell, is it Nadell?
Nick would have more than 2.
He's got 2 on his side and 3 on the other.
Well,
Yeah.
Marlis is a deputy,
Marlis.
and Connie is a deputy,
And
so
Old downstairs,
what?
Old downstairs. And
So,
then
driver.
Yep,
license,
yep, and then, county attorney's office,
2.
and Lisa, I don't know if where's she?
She's under engineer, I think.
she's in the secondary road department one, I believe.
Yeah, she's never, we never. Then you got the 2 across the street.
Yeah.
But as far as Rogers, we can do all his budget except. Yes, maybe.
Well, they don't have a union there, so,
Yeah.
the sheriff's office, so he doesn't know.
But-
Because they're not a percentage of his wage.
No, well,
So he's gonna wait too and see what bargaining unit does, so he kinda has an idea where to go.
but are his deputies gonna come in and bargain with us? Who's gonna set their wages?
Well, that's why I think Roger's waiting to see what this bargaining unit does before he sets the budget.
So we're gonna end up doing the budget and then coming back and adjusting wages after you get back and after the bargaining unit comes in.
Yeah, and I don't know when the bargaining unit is gonna be, but it's gotta be done by middle of February because I have to publish
Right.
by month.
Yeah.
I don't.
That'll make for an interesting timeline.
Yeah.
Well, they can bargain all they want.
It's still our decision, but
So, and Jack's gonna be on in 3 weeks, so. When do you leave, Jack? The 16th?
16. Have they given you any indication on what they want?
And I don't know if they can talk to me about that, I don't know, I don't know much about
I
unions,
doubt it.
but I don't know that
Well, they're not really unions.
they're bargaining.
They're
So-
bargaining units, so they really don't have the same rules as union does.
I thought it was pretty much the same, but I don't know much about unions. So, there's that, I have to send an email out to everybody, if anybody's leasing anything, we have to list that separately for the gas fee. Elizabeth is gonna be coming in January, and February to start her audit, so we're working on those items. Yeah, there's just a lot going on right now, so.
Start of the year.
Everything. So, city budgets will start coming in soon. So that's about all that I have. I will have my phone with me when I'm in California, so please text me. If you need me, or send me an email. That's all.
Go ahead.
Well, this is just a letter for the excluded department head deputies and secondary roads. But he didn't list everybody.
So that's what we talked about, they'll have to redo all that.
That's it.
Any committee reports, we went through all that once.
Yeah.
Anything else for today?
Just tonight, you guys have the farm bureau meeting at 6 o'clock. Reminder that I haven't heard that they changed it. If I find out that they do because the weather, I'll let you know.
Sounds good.
I know it's supposed to, the temperature's supposed to drop and the wind's supposed to pick up, so that may change travel conditions for later, but.
Okay.
It wasn't quite how I envisioned my first board meeting. I just wanted to say I look forward to working with you all in the next few years, and if I make it through today, I mean, I feel fine, just other my voice, you know, do you want me to come in tomorrow, or would you prefer I wait until Thursday, or?
As long as you don't have a fever and don't have COVID, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Up to you, as far as I'm concerned, if you're feeling up to it.
Bring a cot if you feel like you might pass out.
Bring a
Bring
what?
what?
A cot.
Oh,
So you can take a nap?
there's a couch in the back.
We have a hard table on the other side of the room, if you wanted to lay down on that, I'm sure it would be comfortable.
Do, city departments have their budget into
Most of them do, I don't have those. I think I have everybody else's. I'm still working on Carissa's, because I have a couple things I have to break out for her because of the lady for grant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have her, so just working on.
Her board passed her.
Yeah, so
Same way with conservation.
otherwise I think I have everybody's in. I think I have about everything that I got in the handbooks and just put them in some inserts. And when Dex comes, so hopefully that'll come today.
Sounds good.
And if we go over 2%, we still have to have a public
We
hearing?
have to have a public hearing regardless, so
Yeah,
it
right.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter anymore?
2% is the supermajority vote.
Yeah, so, yeah. We have to have a hearing no matter what, so,
Well,
yeah, you just have to have that. So that's it.
anything else coming for the good of Kossuth County? If not, somebody wanna make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I have a motion to adjourn, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, we
You
are
guys
adjourned.
made it through your first meeting.
3.5 hours.
Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds
Rest
good. Take care.
That's putting her
Yep,
record for the first of the year.
What's that?
Usually we run until noon.
Josh, how do I grab this on the side?
this is the.
So you gotta move the mouse over and then look up there, so you can see your mouse moving.
And then drag it.
Yep, drag it back to the left. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. You could've just unplugged that and it would zip everything back to your screen anyways.
Okay.
I don't know, it's hard to tell.
You going back there? Yes. Yep, I'm gonna be there.
Where's that held at?
Farm field, building.
Dollar General, pull in that same parking lot, it's at the west
Building to
end
the west.
of that
Okay.
parking lot.
Okay. Good, so it's in town. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
my wife barking at me.
Yeah, it's in town.
Get home before it gets too big.
Yeah, you won't have to worry about travel.